G'day, guys. Back to Divine Journeys Part 2 debut episode. We had a chat about, I guess, a lot of different things. First time, we're talking about spirituality, where we are, 2025 into 226. The year of the snake, get rid of the old, into the new. My co-host, all the way from Brisbane, Sarah from Divine Intuition Healing. Thanks, mate. I'm very excited, as you can hear. We're
I
very
know.
excited to
Very
pair up
excited
with you.
too.
To pair up with
Yes,
you.
I'm
It's going
ready
to be
for
great.
Year of the Horse 2026. Get rid of the snake. That's what I'm
Oh yeah, you said you were scared of snakes, didn't you? Is that what you said?
absolutely. No way. Oh,
Now we talked a little bit about last time about going within yourself. You're finding yourself now. We're talking about synchronicities. There's so many things we'd love to talk about. We're really excited about this first episode, going right into spirituality and ourselves. But I'm going to lead you into the retrogrades. Now we had
yes.
225 was portals.
Yay.
We're talking more about the astrology side of things, which Sarah's very damn good at it. I can tell you that right now. Very good at it. The intuitive nature of this lady is amazing. If you watch her videos, I'll tell you right now, some of the words that come out, there's a lot more to it. You'll find out a lot bit about us very soon. But those retrogrades, those gates, Lions Gate, we had the 9-9 gate. People go, oh
Yeah.
my God, what do they all mean? You had a massive supermoon in the middle of it.
Oh
And
yeah,
it was,
that was huge, that energy.
so what I'd like to hear from yourself is what happened, what is a retrograde, what happened, and how does it affect us? And I'll give you my perspective later. And what are we going to do with this newfound energy and this newfound person that we really are? I mean, as I said, it's
Yeah.
synchronicities are happening. We're pairing up now. Mate, what 6 months ago we wouldn't even thought about it, would you?
No, absolutely not. And it's just amazing to see, just to think about, yeah, where we were 6 months ago to where we are now. Not the same person, not the same people. And I'm thankful for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. So tell us about the retrogrades. What tell us about what is a retrograde and what it affected had it on it. Had on us was there was five planets spinning backwards.
Well, I know the effect that it had on me. It was a lot of shadow work. Um, I found literally every single day I was faced with something that
Yep.
either I had been avoiding or just, I was
Yep.
like, oh yeah, I've dealt with that. It was
Yep.
brought up to the surface. And I mean, I'm talking about different emotions like codependency. I had a fear of being trapped. And they were just
Yep.
popping up every single day. Like out of nowhere, just going along life, and
Yep.
they're there in my face, and I could not ignore it. Um, so that was it was draining. I'm still exhausted from the retrograde. I'm still trying to like catch up on sleep. I wasn't sleeping at all.
Oh, I still don't say. How did it feel? Because a lot of people are going to ask Sarah, how did you feel with this retrograde? I know I felt like I was Superman holding these. You know, if you watch Superman holding the Earth, like from
Yeah.
collapsing, or holding some brick, or like He-Man or whatever it may be, holding these things and protecting everyone. And is that how you felt? Like you're holding up a tower? Oh well,
Yes.
the tower that was coming down, I guess.
It was literally a tower that was coming down on me. And I was thinking, how much, like, is there any more? Like, come on, surely that's enough for the tower that's collapsed on me already.
Yep.
Like, surely there is nothing else that I need to face head on. And it was, yeah, it was a lot. It felt heavy. I don't know about you, but I feel things like a lot, a lot.
Yeah,
So I
well, I
felt
do. Yeah.
physically heavy.
Yeah, I
So I'm
felt that the same way. I think that
constantly walking around heavy. I would
yeah,
shift something. So an emotion would come up. I would ask, why is this coming up? Because you need to deal with the root cause. So I'd
yeah.
get to the root cause and then I would shift that energy and then I would start feeling good again. And then 12 hours later, boom, there's another energy like in my face.
Can I ask you now?
Yeah.
A lot, as I said, I'm coming away that people ask me. We have this feeling. How do we shift it? How do we shift the energy? How do you shift it? I know with me, it's perspective for me. So it's basically saying, okay, I have the theory of time, peace, and breathing. If you don't have those, you're stuffed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's your perspective number one. Plus, then you get your mirror with your fear, with your fears or whatever. And then what I look at is people and environment that are around. So you have to actually deal with that. What do you think? Where have you gone with that to make that get that heaviness off you, or how you felt it?
I've had to go into nature. I've spent more time in nature in the past 8 weeks than I have pretty much all year.
Yeah.
And it was every single day. I had to remove myself. And it's a huge thing for me to say, I'm not coping right now. I need to go gain some perspective and have some time in nature to try and shift this energy. I'm not one to ever ask for time for myself, but I've had to do that every single day for the past 8 weeks, and not feel guilty about it either. That's a huge thing. As a mother, I feel guilty for taking time out for myself, but I knew I had to do it, so I could show up as the best person that I could.
Did you find I know I found in within myself, and I think people will ask when what actually came up within this say 2025 especially.
Yeah.
If you were in tune with yourself and you're going, come on, that's enough. Oh my God, it's enough. I mean, she's looking at me going, yeah, I had that as well, I'm sure.
Literally.
I go,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's enough. I've had it. I've had it. But it's a case of what Wayne Dyer says. I think I might have sent it to you, but Wayne Dyer says, put it in the hands of the universe. And this is actually true faith and flow with it. These are these universal laws,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, that I love to look at in Stoic laws.
Yeah.
Put it in you've got to let go, and you've got to put it in you've got to put it in the hands of the universe. You've got to actually
Absolutely.
sit there and go, okay, that happened. That's my lesson. Put it in here, or something's going to have to happen. We've got to do it. Let it go. Can you help me on that? I'm going to move on. It sounds
Yeah.
really weird that you don't put energy into it, but you put more energy into it, you're gone. What would you say to that?
Yeah. So for me, I think at the end of 2024, I literally asked for divine intervention in my life.
All
I
right.
handed everything over to the universe and I said, here is my life. This is what I want my life to be. I hand over control. And that was a
There you go.
testament to what 2025 and literally the universe stripped away every single thing that did not align with what I wanted in my life or my highest good, what I'm here for in this lifetime. Stripped it away completely. So I
Right.
knew on New Year's Day, I got a phone call from my boss, my, you know, job I do day to day saying, hey, your full-time role is not going to be full-time anymore this year. It's going to come into part-time, probably casual. And that was New Year's Day for me. And so I sat there and I remember thinking to myself, okay, this is crap. And then 5 minutes later, I remembered, well, I handed this over to the universe. So what do I expect? I knew exactly that this was for my highest good. And it was because that this job doesn't align with me anymore and doesn't fit me anymore.
Right.
I still do it, but I don't do it on a full-time basis. But that was, the first thing that happened on New Year's Day for me. And it was literally what continued to happen throughout the entire year, and going into that. And not, I'm being brutally honest, there were times where I was crushed. Like I could not get myself off the ground. I was not a whole person, with everything that I've been through this year. And I literally sat there, laid there, and just gave up. But it was
I
when I stopped fighting them, when
Yep.
I stopped fighting everything that was happening and just being like, okay, well, this is happening. I'm not going to waste my energy going, why is this happening to me? When I asked for divine intervention, when I asked for the universe to change my life. And that's when I noticed that things flowed easier.
Would you say, and I'm going to tell you my story, and I think you'll agree with it very much, because what do you believe that you got what you needed within the universe giving you what you needed, and understanding that? How do you think people could, because you're so connected, what's going to happen with someone who is not as connected as what we are and going through the same thing? What is your piece of advice? And I'm going to tell you my story a little bit, and I'll go into it.
My piece of advice is to tune into yourself. I know it's easier said than
And how do we
done,
do?
but
How do you do that yourself? And I'll tell
so
you.
really just you need to take care of yourself first.
Exactly right.
Because if you're in survival mode, you can't tune into yourself. You can't tune into your higher self. You can't receive messages. that is literally it. So it's taking care of yourself and love, self-acceptance. You
Yeah.
need to open up and have the love for yourself. And I noticed a big change in myself when I started loving myself. I was more divinely connected to my higher self and to my guides than
Yeah,
I've ever.
I agree with you there because when I started this year and I was, it's been a learning curve for me. It's going out of the new into out of the old into the new sort of things. The main thing that I found was they put me under pressure with regards to who I was, and
Yeah.
the main thing for me was actually backing myself and loving
Yes.
myself and not being and I think look it only and look some of these revelations only come the last couple of weeks because we're in the back end of it is because of the fact you live in a way of say you got something okay here's the way it is you're a kid and you get your candy lollies. Sorry, we're
I was about to
Australian.
say, are we American now? I'm sorry. My children
I
do that, and I
talk to a
literally am
lot of
like,
American and Canadian friends. You get your lollies taken away from you. You're really excited. You get your lollies always taken away from you. What kind of mindsets are going to bring you into? You're going to bring you into a negative mindset. You're not going to have a trusting mindset. You're going to be in a people pleasing mindset. Oh, don't take them away, or what? You've got that hesitation. You're always looking behind you all the
yes,
time instead of looking in front of you. And I think the biggest thing I found was going into silence and
yes,
accepting exactly what was happening. Look, you can see things don't align, but why aren't they aligning? You sort of say to yourself, one, it's not even asking for guidance. I didn't even ask what you did. I just got given it. It's basically, this is the level you're at. This is where
yeah,
you're at. You have to deal with it now. Low
yeah,
patience, what's going on? Maybe you're not aligning. Yeah, okay. Look, I have this innate ability of seeing things a year ahead.
yeah.
I have
No,
this
so do I.
innate, yeah, there you go. Both
Yeah,
of us are on the same thing. For some reason, and you know what the big thing was? You know the ending, right? You live in it, you live in the ending, right? There's the great ending, right?
yeah.
She's laughing because she knows exactly what I'm going to say.
Yeah, because this is literally my life at the moment. I already know the ending, and people keep saying, so what's like gonna happen? And I'm just sitting there going, I know what's going to happen, but I don't want to scare you. So,
Well, you can't do it anyway. The thing what happened was you can see it happening, right? And you in the
yeah,
feeling of it, but you have got to walk the road of it. And the walk in the road is the actual learning part of it. As
yes,
you know, you watch the video, The Shift. If you go and watch The Shift by Wayne
yeah,
Dyer, you see a lot of synchronicities, a lot of journeys when something starts because of the fact things are changing, people are changing. And if you're connected to spirit or yourself and opening up and you have a look at the people that you meet, hint, hint, they do
mm.
influence.
Oh, absolutely, 110%,
They do
110%.
influence. I have a look at the closest people. I mean, I live in other capital cities and all those kind of things to get back to where I was. And it's been a learning curve where I have to back myself. I asked for a coach. I got a coach,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And even this one where I'm talking about, I'd love to do, I'm a talker, I'm an MC, I do MC, right? But I'm thinking, people say, get in front of people. I didn't look wide, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking wide now. Here I am.
yeah,
We're going to be in front of people.
yeah.
But what that regards in what was happened with the journey of the year is absolutely shedding the old, being involved and listening to fears, being inadequate, understanding that the fears that you have with people. Why aren't you standing up to certain people? Understanding why people treated you a certain way, understanding
Absolutely.
all that. But you've got to be
Yes,
in silence. It's the
yes,
scariest thing. You get it. I get it.
absolutely.
You got to be
Yeah,
in
you've got to
silence.
quieten your mind because those messages, those
Absolutely.
divine messages and everything will not come through if you are constantly in a state of survival mode and go, 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 go.
That's right.
You have to slow down. There's
Absolutely.
no other way to receive them.
And it's the hardest thing to do, especially with
Yeah,
someone with. I mean, we're both of us are introverts, and
yeah,
like people go, "You're an introvert. You're crazy." Yeah, I am. I
yeah.
only, yeah, I am. I mean, you wouldn't think it, but I am
Oh, I'll
massively.
own it.
I
People have
own
called
it.
me
I
crazy
own
and
it.
I
People
own
just
it.
don't believe me, except for my best mate. He goes, "Hey, biggest introvert I've ever seen." But
Yeah,
it's a case of I think understanding who you are as a person, but also your past lessons where you
yes,
try to be this people pleasing person, and you are. Let's be honest. Spirituality. If you start talking about, people are very interested. Oh, past life regression, all those cards and all those kind of things. They start talking. They're very interested, but they still think we're a bit freaky.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But this is
Yeah.
what we're doing. What we're talking about is how you motivate your mind into a
Yeah.
point where you understand yourself and get into your heart and stop and get the hell out of here,
Yes. Yes,
which is
because
very hard to
that
do.
is your biggest, that's always going to be your biggest challenge is to get out of your head and get into your heart space. And I know for me, it's I've had to train myself to get out of
Yeah,
there and get into my heart space. It doesn't happen naturally, and I think that's what people get confused about these things. They're like, "Oh yeah, like oh yeah, I'm in my heart space and it's all love and light." It's not. It's you have to retrain yourself, especially when you've gone through trauma and you've put up shields and walls and whatnot. You have to train yourself every single day to get into your heart space. And it's like anything, just train, 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 train.
I think the other thing is, Sarah. The other thing that I find that really helps is I just realized that I lost a lot of fun in my life, and I mean, we're in a training program. We're sort of like we're training ourselves, our new selves. We're getting this, as I said, fantastic new podcast. Very bloody excited to have all
Yeah.
these opportunities that we're having. Um, mics and all that stuff. Looking to go, oh my god, hang on, something coming. But a friend of mine said to me, it was only a couple of weeks ago. He very close friend of mine, and we were out at one stage. And he just said to me, well, he actually said to me the next day. Now I'm going to tell you the story is, look, I'm a well-known I love celebrity and love getting celebrity photos. All right. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. I haven't done it for years. Now there's a reason behind this really quickly. Basically got a photo of Sebastian Bach from Skid Row, ended up getting a photo with him and all those kinds of things. I used to do all that when I was younger, right? Or not even younger, but only a couple of years ago before COVID. Anyway, so the money was he seen me and he goes, you've lost your spirit, mate. Your flame's nearly out. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't really feel that, but I know I'm going through growth, right?
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
has been hard. It's like you're being stamped, physically
Oh
stamped,
yeah.
and you get it. Next
Yeah.
day, he rang me. He goes, saw the fire in your eyes, and I'm obviously a pro wrestling fan. It's the Ultimate Warrior shakes the ropes and all that. He's talking about you shaking the ropes again, shaking those wrestling ropes again.
Yeah.
And it was just took that little bit of guts and determination to find the fun that you had fun in life again.
Yes.
And yeah,
Absolutely.
so yeah,
No, you got to
have
get
you?
back.
Sorry, keep
Yeah,
going.
for me, it's like the inner child. You've got to
Yes,
get back and enjoy those moments and just essentially be innocent, be back in the mindset of before the world corrupted you, I guess you can
yes,
say.
yes,
Before you,
yes,
you
yes.
got hard, you need to be in that mindset. And that's what, when I go to Ireland, that's always my mindset because it takes me back to that lifetime when I was a little
Fantastic.
girl and I was running
Well, I
through the
saw I
forest.
saw you I saw your videos. I mean, you could just tell the light. You were very light. It's when I go
Yeah.
to Fremantle, when I went to Calgary. You could, when I go to Calgary, I mean, my 50th birthday, everyone goes, "Oh, what did you do for your?" I sat in the Brett Heatman Hart's bar and I had a Caesar salad and watched the wrestling. Best time of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think what people have to do is understand that the energy of something that made you happy when you were a child. I think we can go back to that. We'll go back to retrogrades in a minute, but this is how good we are. We just keep going. We love what
And
we're
we
doing.
literally just do not stay
We're
on
gonna
topic.
ramble. We'll get
Yeah,
we'll get there with some scheduling. Don't worry. But we love rambling. It's just what we do.
clearly.
Anyway, but very excited. But you can see that those fun times. You could listen to a piece of music. We're watching some movies. Going to Ireland. Going to for me it's Fremantle or Calgary to
Yeah,
get that love back. And I think it's just basically you got to really break that pattern, don't you, Sarah? So I mean, we go
absolutely.
into we actually lose that inner love for ourselves. We sort of get we say caught in the matrix,
Yeah,
but it's not. They're not lying, are they?
yeah. No, for me, like even just day-to-day things, like I'm driving in the car and, a song comes on and I'll literally just turn it right up and just literally be dancing and singing like nobody's watching that. There's no cars around me.
Yep.
And my children constantly look at me and they're like, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" And it's like, what? What are you going to do? Like, I'm the one driving you everywhere. Like, too bad. Put up with it.
Yep.
Just taking those really small moments, but making them special and, dancing in the kitchen while I'm cooking dinner and then my son walks past, so I start dancing with him and stuff like that. Just those being back in that mindset of not caring about what other people think. I think that was a
Yeah,
huge thing for
I
me.
think so. I think look,
Yeah.
as I said to you, we probably can see in the background. I collect wrestling figures and all that. They give me a bit of joy and stuff. But that's just what I've done since I was a kid. I've
Yeah.
loved pro wrestling, but even the nostalgia of just looking and going, everything's got a reason. You just look and go, that's what makes so fun. Like so much fun. I think you lose. They go, oh, you got to grow up, but you got to not lose that fun of that inner child, do you? I think, and that's probably where the retrogrades will bring back the retrograde, especially
Yeah.
Saturn, and especially Saturn being the father figure, telling you to learn something. They give you this lesson to learn. That could be the one that really kicks you over, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So there was one where I was in the forest taking time for myself and dragonflies were just flying around me and me being me, I got caught in the moment and started literally chasing these dragonflies
Oh
and I
wow!
ended up in the forest and that's like I was in there deep and I mean I go in there all the time. It's my backyard. I'm not unfamiliar with it, but then when I realized that I was like knee deep in long grass in summer in snake season. And I like
No
snapped out of it
shoes
and I
on,
was like,
right? Yeah, no
oh, I
shoes
had
on.
shoes on. Trust me, I
Oh,
had
okay.
shoes on. But I'd taken off my bag, which I have everything in there to just chase after these dragonflies. Like I was this little girl who literally just went away with the fairies. And then I got caught back into reality and I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. I literally did everything that you should not do in an Australian summer or coming up to summer is run into the bush like when there's snakes around and I could not see like my feet. Because I'm afraid of snakes. So I'm always like when I'm walking, I'm always looking at where I'm walking and stepping. And I could feel the energy of the snakes around. That set me off. I went into a panic attack and literally like running up a hill, like just trying to get out of there so quick. And when I got up the top, I was still in such a state and I'm sitting there and I'm just like crying and crying, going, how stupid could you be, Sarah? Why would you do that to yourself? Like, it could be nobody knew where I was either, of course.
Of
Like,
course I don't.
so yeah, no, I just do what I do. So, and then I'm sitting there and I'm like, why has this happened? Because I come into the bush all the time. And it was the lesson of I felt trapped in that moment where I
There you
woke
go.
up.
See the perspective that you put on. See, it's a great learning curve, guys. Even the
Yeah.
simple things that you go through. Russell Brand always said, "There's always one word that comes up. It's trapped for Sarah." So
Yeah, no.
then you can expand, can't you?
Yeah, that's why it was the panic attack. That's why it affected me so much because I'm like, why is this affecting me so much? Like I was in such a state. And even when I got to safety, I was still in a state. And it was the fact that I felt trapped. And so I needed to shift that energy of that. I was no
Can I
longer,
ask you for that one? First thing that came
yeah,
to my head, were you trapped inside your own body, or said it's trapped inside your own mind, or how were you trapped? Because people will ask. I mean, for example, I mean, when I had the stroke scare, that was pure anxiety, like
yeah,
pure, like my mind had me having a stroke scare. That's
yeah.
how bad. That's how far gone I didn't have boundaries and all that. What were you internally or externally channeling in that way?
It was both, to be
Right.
honest. I
Yeah.
mean, it was coming out externally, like with all the emotions and stuff, but internally, my head was going, I'm trapped, I'm trapped, I'm trapped. But I wasn't trapped anymore, technically. I was in safety. So it was
Fantastic.
the thing about being trapped. And I've been in many situations in my life where I have felt trapped and I have been trapped and I've had to escape those situations to literally save my life. So it was doing that and noticing that, okay, I'm a different person to what I was back then when I was trapped in those moments. And I'm never, ever going to be trapped again. And once I recognized that and I shifted that energy, I haven't felt it since.
Let's finish off. We've got about 5 minutes to go on the last one. We're going to talk about these retrogrades because we've put it off.
Yeah.
We said we'd talk about
Yeah.
that. Is the final thing. The retrogrades were really heavy in the last month. We had Uranus, we had Chiron, we had Jupiter went, Saturn, Mercury.
Yeah.
I think Neptune. It might have been six. So I know Jupiter's in retrograde till March. What is it going to tell? What do people need to know about these retrogrades and what the effect is? And if they're going, oh my god, what the hell's going on here? what in your opinion, what are they looking at?
You need to be gentle with yourself. You need to recognize that this isn't, I mean, it's happening to everybody. Most people don't know what's happening to them, but if you have perspective and you know these things are happening, you just really have to be gentle with yourself and be kind and take the time to rest, and not push yourself more than you need to be pushed in these retrogrades, because that's when you're going to get into a moment where you're not going to be in a very good headspace, and that's no use to anybody.
So it's basically going to silence, ladies and gentlemen, like we do,
Absolutely.
and we're talking about the fun. We're talking about the fun before. We're talking about fun. Get maybe don't push yourself into trying to get into something new. Work on the
Yes.
old. Understand what you're going. Maybe have some fun. Watch like me, pro wrestling, whatever it may be that gives you that happiness. Um,
Yes.
it's one of those things with, if I'm correct, Neptune and Uranus opposition, I think it was. Oh, was it Neptune? Yeah, I can't remember. One of those ones there. I was thinking with regards to the opportunities coming out. There's things that happen out of the blue. I think it's Neptune.
Yes.
Retrograde comes out of nowhere. There's little things that come out of nowhere. So it's basically if you're walking through the dark forest and then suddenly there's some light, you can see a bit of light. Have you had any of those situations come up?
Yeah, I've had things come up that have come out of the blue, and I'm sitting there going, what the fuck is this going? Like, what's happening
Yeah.
now? Yeah, and it's just, yeah, literally going into silence, taking care of yourself, showing yourself love, self-love. Those
Bit of
are the
lots of
things.
water. I guess the big thing is water. I think
Yeah.
water's
No,
a huge.
water lately has been a huge thing for me too, which I'm not a
Yep.
huge water drinker, but I cannot get enough of it lately. So yeah.
Yeah. I think well, to finish off with, I think these retrogrades have really got us into a point where we're looking in towards ourselves, whether it be spiritual or into our mind, depending where you sit, looking at
Yeah.
your ego and all those kind of things. But also for people like us, we're really, really channeling to get to that next level because we know we're going to be helping. But this is why with this podcast is why it is now. And obviously,
Absolutely.
number one keeps going. There's going to be a lot of information we're hoping to do. Oh, look, first thing it's this is how it's working, okay, Blazer. This is live, right? First thing I think about is me and Sarah on a stage having a chat to people. First thing I think
Yeah,
about. So
absolutely.
whether we see that, whether it happens, whether it's a sign or something like that, it's how connected we are with this. This is, for me, perspective is this is right. This is where it's meant to be. That's the finish. It's not going to
Absolutely.
happen
Yeah.
tomorrow, but there's a finish. There's a finish line
Hey, you
that.
never
But
know. We might like evaporate onto a stage tomorrow.
hey, you never know. You never
Anything can
know.
happen.
Anything can happen. But the thing is, it's can you see the environment that you bring into? So it's live, but you bring into bring into yourself the right people into your life. And we're going to talk a lot about synchronicities, a lot about bits and pieces like that. These spiritual teachings that are going to come up very, very soon. Especially with the year one, people are going to wonder what's going on because there'll be a lot of people going to be left behind in the year one because they're going to have no idea what the hell's going on. Am I not wrong?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of people that are still, I think, trying to fight 2025, and those people are going to be stuck. Yeah. If
I
you
think a
don't
lot of people,
evolve this year and let go, then yeah.
yeah, I think a lot of people don't know how to. I think they're basically stuck in the
Yeah.
matrix and everything that's happening.
Yeah.
But this podcast is here to give you as much information as we can. Have a bit of a chat, try to put a realistic spin on what's happening spiritually
Yeah.
from both of us being earthbound and having an understanding of what the hell's going on as a male and a female, obviously,
Yeah.
or as two spiritual beings. And that's what
Yeah.
we're,
And
that's
if it
why,
aligns with you, then it's we're doing that's what we're doing this for, is if you find some comfort or a message in what we're saying, then yeah, it's all worth it.
absolutely. And that's the number one thing that we're trying to do because we do a lot of stuff outside of here and then we come together and we talk. We'll talk about a bit about Alan Watts. We'll talk about Wayne Dyer. We'll talk about Louise Hayward. Whatever's coming up that we can help you with that has helped us, we're
Yeah.
going to try and do that. And as I said, if you need any more information, you can jump on both our individual Instagrams. You can jump on Journey of a White Feather or Divine Intuition Healing. We will have a site. Everything will be set up for this podcast in the future. Don't worry if you want to get in contact with us directly.
Absolutely.
That will happen. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're very happy to help you. And ladies and gentlemen, part one, part two done. Very excited. And yeah, it's, as I
It's
said,
only the beginning.
only the beginning. And I said this at the start, ladies and gentlemen, 51%. Now, what that means is, and this is coming from JT Fox, number one wealth and business coach in the world, 51% means you can't be don't be perfect. Just get in and have a crack. If you think it's
Absolutely.
ready to go, we thought it was ready to go here, and it absolutely has been a number one success for both of us. And it's only up and about now. So if you ever have an idea, don't be afraid to have
Just
a
do it.
crack and just do it. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah. That's it. Just do it. Failure, the fear of failure will always keep you stuck. So just do it.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, Sarah, you got any last words before we part, and we'll have a chat very, very soon.
Yeah, just be kind and gentle to yourself and have gratitude for what 2025 has taught you and brought you, and move forward with a clearer perspective, and yeah, get excited about 2026.
Absolutely. I just say to you, whatever you've gone through in 2025, it's the shedding of the old, bringing the new. It
Yeah.
is hard. Remember the mirror, okay? And remember to reverse any of those fears or whatever you're thinking, reverse. If it's negative, reverse it to positive. And remember, we always have a create a safe, authentic, trusted space. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Jay from Journey of a White Feather, a chat with Jay. This is Sarah from Divine Intuition Healing. We are Divine Journeys, and we are really, really excited about 2026, getting this podcast up and done and really helping you out on your spiritual and personal growth journey. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll put the
Thank
info
you.
to get in contact with us. Sarah, thank you so much. And I'll tell you,
Thanks, Jeff.
I'm crediting this lady for starting this. She's the one who reached out. So, man, thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
very grateful to being a collab
Thank
with
you.
you. And let's get into 226. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And we will look forward to episode 2 of Divine Journeys. Take care. See you later.